panelists on stage so we can get this conversation going and learn from their experiences in the Accelerator. Here we go. If we could just go ahead and bring people on, I think we're going to do introductions as we go. So wanted to set some context about the Accelerator for those of you that aren't aware. This is truly designed to help founders get themselves enterprise ready for in order to win enterprise opportunities. It's also an opportunity to learn about how to get your business foundationally strong for investor conversations, including conversations in creating partnerships, what Microsoft likes to call P2P. And also, you heard in the earlier session the importance of marketplace and being ready for marketplace opportunities, not only helping your solutions and your business stand out in this large ecosystem of access to customers, but also how to work with a large hyperscaler like Microsoft in these massive go-to-market engines that we also sponsor. Today are graduates from cohorts 5 and 6. And first of all, a big congratulations to all of you in that massive achievement. I hope you all feel really great about what you've been able to accomplish over that period of time, as well as I think that for the audience to just know that this was an entirely digital class. So maximizing the power of technology and also the complexity of that as we went along. So why don't we first start with introductions so that the audience can hear a little bit more about you and your business. Let's go ahead and start with Dee.
Hi, my name is Dee Ye, and I am the founder and CEO of Genovate. We help organizations build empowering workplace culture by scaling professional coaching. Super excited to be going through the Accelerator. Thank you so much for having me here.
Excellent. And Christine.
My name is Christina Holmes. I am the co-founder of Theta Retail. Theta Retail is for companies who provide perishable goods to big box stores, and we help them optimize their supply chain.
Excellent. Padma?
Hi, Padma Subramanian. I run the startup called Ferry.ai. We are a developer ecosystem platform that allows software vendors to build their own developer ecosystems, manage them, and also publish onto multiple marketplaces. Again, we've seen tremendous growth, as I will go through in the panel with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sherisse?
I'm Sherisse Hawkins. I'm the CEO and founder of PageDip. And we really understand the difficulty of selling complex tech products in today's market. I worked in that space. So our technology allows people to really increase reader engagement 3 to 5 times with really detailed analytics about the reader's journey and helping understand what's happening with that sales and marketing collateral. We've got some fantastic customers that we've been able to work with in just the last a little bit, thanks to the WICT experience, and we're happy to be in the marketplace.
Excellent. So I love it. So I can already tell you're just sort of on the edge of your seat, ready to share some more information, then we're going to definitely tap into that. Well, so why don't we get things started? And I'll direct this question to Christina. So you won your first enterprise deal and wanted to know how you went about doing that and what was the solution you provided? And then we'll also go to Sherisse for that same question.
So our solution is unique because it helps companies deal with inventory levels of perishable goods. Specifically for plants. So if you go into a big box retailer and you're in their garden center, the whole supply chain of plants has a lot of really interesting problems. It's a live product, things tend to die, they have to be managed in a certain way. So our solution helps retailers really get their heads wrapped around the fact that these are not faucets, they're living things, and you have to manage them in a particular way. We launched our company February of 2020, so that was a really interesting time to do anything new. right at the start of the pandemic. So our way of helping to drive growth was really to lean in very hard to our Rolodex. We wanted to make sure that we took every advantage of people that we knew, inroads that we had with different companies. I think business is a lot about relationships, and even more so in a time where it was virtually impossible to meet face to face with people. So that was the main strategy that we used to gain our deals through this really difficult time, has just been leveraging those connections that we have with people.
And how about you, Sherisse?
Yeah, for us, I mentioned I'd worked in this space for many years before becoming an entrepreneur. And it was just clear that the current content formats provided little, if any, visibility into the reader's journey, so that our tech companies didn't understand the journey of their target customer. And we knew there was a better way to do that. So we have a really unique solution. We understand what information is truly piquing someone's interest, right down to the specific word or widget. And we're the first of our kind in that space. So it's been really interesting to be able to provide this in-document analytics along with full brand compliance in a way that's not been seen before. And just in the last month, we've been working with Salesforce and NetApp and HPE and these major enterprise customers that I'm just thrilled to be able, that they've entrusted their content to us. So the future looks really bright, and we're really excited about being in the marketplace.
In terms of how you found your enterprise engagements, was it through the marketplace integrations that you had, or did you do some special connections?
The marketplace has certainly helped raise our visibility, but I will talk about this later. I think the connections and the relationships that came as a part of this program have been invaluable. And when you're really getting started, it's those relationships and those connections that are the springboard to your success.
Yeah, so it sounds like just between, with you, Christina, and Sherisse talked about it's, leveraging the marketplace is one, but then really refining your approach to the customer that you're trying to target. Especially now you sort of had to double down on getting personal in order for you to sort of get their attention, which is good learning, I think, for all of us. So why don't we move to you, Dee? So why did you join this accelerator, the co-sell accelerator? And if you could share what your journey is like, we probably have some folks on the call today that are very curious about it. So what has been the impact to you and the things you've been able to do with it?
Yeah, so my reason for joining the accelerator was purely out of I felt so at home with this community, and we've always wanted to integrate our product with Microsoft, and so we thought, oh, this is a Microsoft sponsored accelerator program. It will be great to be part of this, but what we end up getting is so much more. I first experienced the WIC community at last year's summit, so like many of you who are listening in. And so I just felt this is a community that's so empowering. Everyone is an expert, a leader in their own fields, and we get to come together and share our best practices, and it was so uplifting. I ended up walking away from last year's summit with really meaningful connections, and that we continue to have dialogues and about our expertise and supporting each other. So I started asking, how can I be more part of this community more? And when I found out about this accelerator, I joined in. I thought this is going to be an engineering-focused product integration kind of accelerator. But what's interesting is the big aha moment was for me to realize a scalable product for startup alone is not enough. But scaling the go-to-market strategy is actually more important for startup. And so, give some context. At our company, Genevieve, we are focused on how can we scale professional executive coaching, which costs traditionally at a few $100s per hour. How do we scale that more so that companies can afford providing that service for all levels of the employees on per employee level? So we put a lot of thoughts on how do we use technology to help scale, innovate the product and scale the service. So it wasn't until at this accelerator, which then we started learning about there's this cloud marketplace. And as you heard in the previous session, the cloud hyperscalers offer these marketplaces. We started learning that integration into these marketplaces, building on top of these cloud technologies, more than just product strategy. There's really a business play to this. And so this accelerator opened that black box and started showing us step-by-step playbook on what kind of marketing activities we will need to do to get ready for co-selling activities. It's not just about putting the product out in the marketplace and then the customers will come, right? So a lot of these, I guess, hidden secret of the B2B enterprise marketing and sales activities and how do you leverage marketplace to do that was shared during this accelerator. And so that was a huge, unexpected learning for us. And we're very excited about practicing that. So during the accelerator, we're able to deliver our service successfully to a few innovative organizations. For example, Johns Hopkins, UIUC, and as well as employees at some of these large tech companies. So we are now, because of the connections we built at these events have been so invaluable, we were able to start dialogues with some of the enterprise companies, and we're looking at, in the process of looking at how do we bring our scalable coaching services to support the people first cultural and employee empowerment at more workplaces.
Love it. As someone who works in the channel space, I can tell you that that kind of insight is sometimes something that partners don't see until years of being a part of a formal program. And the fact that you were able to get to it so much earlier, you can start sort of reaping the rewards of that much earlier in your business cycle. And I think I remember you and I actually talked at one of the roundtables, I think before you even joined the accelerator. So it was really great to see you fully come online and be fully committed. So congratulations again.
Thank you, Karen. Power of the community.
Yes. So let's turn to you, Padma. It sounds like you were definitely eager to start sharing your success story with us. We certainly want to hear it. You finished the accelerator a year ago, and so I'd love to share the kind of impact and growth you've seen in your business since then.
Absolutely. And I wanted to start off with where we were even before the accelerator, right? We were very small, did not have a customer, did not have an investor. We were still trying to figure out how to, grow this business. And then I joined the accelerator. I came out wildly successful. And the reasons for that was, I found my first mentor, Karen Cohn, through Women in Cloud and, as part of the accelerator program as well. And Karen has literally helped us succeed and bring us to this place that we are in. Next, I found my first investor as part of Women in Cloud, Masters Fund. And again, when nobody else was willing to take a chance on us, Jillian, Anne, and Karen were willing to take a chance on us. And we're so thankful to them and to the community at large, right? Because as a woman, we've heard so many things while trying to raise funding. So having people to support you, having powerful people like that with you is big. We also found our first customer thanks to Women in Cloud. So I had presented at one of the Lunch and Learn sessions. An audience from the session found my YouTube video from the session, sent it to her boss, and that's how we found our first customer. So fast forward now, we've just completely been able to find phenomenal growth, thanks again to this community. We've now have 3 investors, 3 partners, 7 enterprise customers, and pretty big growing set of active users and still growing. We're also working on partnerships with communities like Women in Tech and Women in Cloud, and promotions that are going to go live with both these communities. So where we were to where we've come, it's really, I should say that it's this community that led us to this kind of growth. The one thing I would say is it's important, and so many people that I speak to and I've recommended this community to, one of the first things I feel is being complete this community, right? Being there, making sure you make those connections, making sure you are taking advantage of all of the forums and all the platforms that are available to you as part of the community, and using that to further your business. And I think that's important, and that's helped us quite a bit.
Wonderful. Really, seriously, congratulations, Padma. That's an incredible story. A lot of your hard work in that, but absolutely a great testament to the power of community and access.
Collective influence, and that's what I would say.
Wonderful, beautiful. So I'd like to turn the next question over and have Sherisse, Christina, Dee offer your perspective. Each of you have seen significant growth, particularly in the enterprise, and was hoping you could share your strategy behind how you achieved that, and learnings that you took away as a result of the Cloud Accelerator that helped you specifically. Let's start with Sherisse.
It's interesting, having worked as a technologist for most of my career. You think that you have business savvy and you've got experience, but it's different to have an expert really walk you through the process. And there was one particular session I think was just designed specifically for us, and that was around the go-to-market strategy and readiness for enterprise partnerships. And the type of content that Chatra shared with us, we literally filled out sections of what questions to ask and what are you doing now, what are you doing in the future. I'd never seen anything like that, and it just allowed us to go to the next level, prepare in a very different way. And we, as to today, we've got over 75K in new revenue as a part of. I directly attributed that to the experience we had with that one module, and there was many other sessions that had amazing content as well.
Excellent. Yes, the value of the right content can't be underestimated, especially making sure it's relevant to the audience you're really trying to capture. Christina, how about you?
Yeah, so I would definitely second that. The homework, the sessions, the office hours that we had really gave me a chance to focus and in many instances refocus my messaging to our potential customers in a way that was invaluable. I would say that all of the entrepreneurs in my cohort, we were very diverse. We were at different places in our business journey. We had different offerings, and it didn't matter what problem we had. Chai was very good at taking our problem and reframing it in a way and sort of giving us, a framework to say, okay, well, this is how you solve problem X, and this is how you solve problem Y. And everything just felt very neat and packaged up and done in a way that it was easy for us to kind of take that information, to take that framework and apply it to the problem that we were having today and have in our toolbox for the problem that we're going to have tomorrow.
Yeah. Wonderful. And how about you, Dee?
Yeah, so I second all of the homework and the great knowledge, very, very knowledge informed workshops led by Chai, the expert in enterprise sales and marketing. I would also add, it's during the Accelerator, we had the opportunity to meet various enterprises, like one per month or maybe more frequent than that. And a lot of times when we are talking about the co-selling or the partnerships or even selling into enterprise, it's crucial that we understand how to talk to them, how to navigate the organizations, and align our strategy and vision with the needs and the vision and strategy of those organizations. And so just like these events offer incredible access, where we can sit down with these leaders and have very human-driven conversations to build relationships. And so as a result of that, we were able to fine tune and understand where we can really add value to the organizations and also to the cloud hyperscalers story.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that, I've heard this said before from Dan Langell, who's also one of our cloud women in cloud advisors, and it's the steps are easy, the work is hard, right? So having that co-accountability, these milestones to meet, knowing that you can accelerate at this. If you stay paced with the accelerator, you're on a great track to continue to accelerate your business as a whole. So maybe little rounds of rapid fire. And so the question is, what will the world look like if we created access for $1 billion for women tech founders? What kind of results do you think we could make in the ecosystem at large? So why don't we start with Christina?
So I think one of the most tangible results would be to see women in all areas of this ecosystem. I think there is no substitute for seeing someone you can relate to in the position that you desire. And that position could be an investor, it could be a founder, it could be a technologist. But if young women can look and see people like them represented across the ecosystem, I think that's a tremendous win for all of us.
Agree so much. How about you, Padma?
Yeah, I think if we had $1 billion in a community like this, we could impact women at all stages of their career, starting from education to empowerment, bringing them to STEM careers. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Encouraging more women to start companies, which is hard, and people get really, scared to start on their own. So definitely encourage more women to be founders and also funders, and complete that whole value chain so that we as a community, as women across the globe, can really progress.
Yes, founders and funders. I love that. How about you, Dee?
I'm gonna take it at a specific angle. To me, I see, like me, also many other women, were driven to also make social impact. A lot of us feel the mission, the calling to do so. So if we can give many women who have the social impact dreams, give them the business building skills and invest in these women and help them turn these impact driven ideas into a startup that is economically viable. And so if we can use this money to show the entrepreneurship ecosystem that startups with social missions can generate economic vitality. And so this $1 billion of access for women tech founders, that it exponentially grow in terms of the impact dollars it will have.
Yeah, I love that. It's not a good idea. It's not a nice to have, or if only we could. I mean, it really could be something that has real economic viability and GDP impact. And how about you, Sherisse?
I agree with just the general economic impact and societal impact. I thought it was strange in our case, we decided to make sure that each and every page dip was accessible by the blind and visually impaired. And it just seemed like table stakes. Why wouldn't you do that? And when we looked around and realized that our solution was one of the few in the space that took that tact, it made me scratch my head. So I think the way women think about being inclusive and how it helps society, along with the economic growth, is something that the world needs more of. And we're just really proud to be able to lead the way.
Yeah, this is incredibly inspiring because, often, we run into situations where we have to explain it, right? We have to explain what it means to be inclusive and inclusive in design. But here we are. We just know. We just know this is the way forward. And we're going to do more of it. So next question, winning Fortune 1000 companies, it's challenging. So in what ways can companies and communities and influencers contribute and help create more access points? So let's start with you, Christina.
Oh, making introductions. I think that is the number one way that you can help women get into the enterprise market, is by helping them know the people that they need to sell to.
Yeah. And how about you, Padma?
Increasing the trust factor. So when you send out a cold email, you don't get responses unless you're part of a community. And I've seen that with Women in Cloud. As part of this community, when I send emails, I do get responses. So it increases the trust factor.
Yeah. D, Sherisse?
It's taking a moment for these influencers and decision makers, like taking a moment to learn what female founders have to offer and their perspectives and their needs, and follow through. And I just want to give a quick example. I was at this networking event, and I met Monica, and we were just closing our. The event was closing. We only had like a few minutes in the elevator, and literally I said I would like to share about us. And when it was my floor, she stepped out of the elevator and said, "Oh, I want to finish the conversation with you." So it was moments like that, and thanks Women in Cloud for many moments like that.
And Sherisse?
I would just echo the introductions. That is the first leap of faith that people take with a new technology, comes from those that are warm introductions, has been my experience.
Yeah. Access over and over again. So we're at the close of our session. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insights. Let's leave the community with any final words of wisdom. We can just go around the room. Let's start with you, Padma.
Yeah, I would say get more involved with the Women in Cloud community. Take advantage of all of the platforms, all of the programs that are being designed. I've seen that it really does make a difference. So do be part of it. Make those connections. I can tell you that I've made some incredible connections as part of the Women in Cloud community. I've had people like Priyansha Bagaria from Looper, with whom I just chat because I feel lonely sometimes, right? So make those connections, make the best of this community.
And how about you, Sherisse?
This is just such a generous and warm community, unlike a lot of corporate environments. So I encourage everyone to make that ask. You'll be so surprised if you just ask how much support you'll get for some of the simplest things, or even things that you think are out of reach. So don't be afraid to make that ask.
And then we'll go to Sherisse and then Dee. Oh, sorry, Christina and then Dee.
Oh, I don't know what I could add that's better than than what they said. Yeah, I would say that I was recommended into this community by a graduate of cohort 2. So I think that that's the takeaway for me, and my my personal goal is that I bring in women into this community as I was brought in, to just share in the knowledge and the connections, because we're stronger together. So that's what I want to leave with.
I would second all of them, and I think every single member of this community is incredible, and just staying engaged and getting curious of everyone beyond their titles and the position they are, just like learning about their story. Just never know what would open up, and the human connections, the support. It's truly an empowering community. So yes, we're all part of that tree that Chai talked about.
Yes, absolutely. And more to come. Story's just begun. So thank you, all of you, for sharing your story and for hopefully inspiring the next Accelerator graduate to step into the next class that we have to offer. Chai mentioned this earlier, but cohort 7 starts February, so please start your applications. The deadline is February 18th. And it is your opportunity to participate. So if it's yourself or somebody that you know that may need a little nudge to move along and get that idea from head to revenue, we definitely want to hear from you. So let's please spread the word and let's help get another great class going for inclusive impact and a growing set of diverse solutions in the market. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karen and panel. Wow, that was incredible. And what an incredible morning / early, late lunch it's been with all of the speakers and all of the presentations and all of the information and networking that you've been able to do. We can't wait to see you back here in a little less than an hour and a half. So get ready for some more fantastic keynotes and also our pitch session. It's going to be so incredible. So I'll look forward to seeing you in a little bit. Everybody have a great break. See you soon.